Hey everyone, it's Stranger Grayson here, and welcome back to another horror movie review. Today I have a review on a movie from the Final Destination franchise. That'll be the next one up on the list, Final Destination 2. Now this actually came in a 5-film pack with all 5 movies. I'm reviewing the second one today, so I hope you guys enjoy. Anyway, what is Final Destination 2 about? Final Destination 2 is sort of a continuation from the first movie. It takes place a year after from the events of the first film. You follow a girl who is actually going on a trip to Daytona Beach down in Florida, and she is with some of her friends. The girl's name is Kimberly. And while they're going on the road trip down the way there, they get to a highway. There's a whole bunch of people behind them. They, of course, get onto the highway. But before she actually went on the road trip, she was listening to a thing about what happened from the previous film. This guy talking about death and its design. Of course, the host doesn't believe him. He thinks he's making it all up, or he's crazy. But anyway, they're on the highway, and you get introduced to some of the characters later on in this film, but for now, they're introduced on the highway. There's Officer Burke, there's Rory, Nora and Tim Carpenter, Eugene, and Evan Lewis. Then they're on the way to the Daytona Beach. However, a logging truck actually pulls up in front of Officer Burke, and Officer Burke's in front of everybody. None of these characters know each other. They're just passing each other on the road. But a logging truck comes in front of Officer Burke's car. Then all of a sudden, the logs get detached from the trailer and they fall onto the highway. Kills Officer Burke immediately, goes through his windshield. And this is the most just horrible accident I've seen. Honestly, I'd prefer this over the plane crash, because the plane crash, you couldn't really tell what was going on. All you could see was fire and explosions. This one, you actually saw the damage and the chaos that was happening through the whole scene, and the damage is just intense. You see everybody dying one after another. Rory gets hit by a truck in this scene, and just his car just freaking explodes, and he dies instantly. But by the end, it's just Kimberly and her friends left, and Evan Lewis. Evan Lewis crashes into a truck and explodes. Then another truck kills Kimberly, but turns out, whoa, it's a vision, and she just saw everything that happened. She's freaked out. Same stuff starts to happen in her premonition, so she decides to make a U-turn, sort of a U-turn, and just block the rest of the road so none of those people can get by, so they won't have the accident. Of course, the officer gets out of his car. Nobody believes her. He asks her what's happening. She explains her situation. Then she sees the logging truck, and then the same pileup happens, but they weren't in it. However, let's just say after they survive, her friends get killed anyway, because the officer pulls Kimberly out of the way just before the same truck that was about to hit her in the premonition hits and kills her friends. So her friends die anyway, no matter what, which is kind of sad. However, of course, they get pulled into a police station. They're all interviewed. They get sent home. She explains what happened. Nobody from the previous movie believed Alex, because they all heard of the story. They didn't believe him. But after that, let's just say things start repeating itself from the previous movie. Final Destination 2 was honestly a sort of a good, better sequel to the franchise. I feel like after 2, things started taking a downward slope until Final Destination 5. Final Destination 5 honestly kind of saved the franchise. I just did not like 3 and 4. I don't know, I may like it this year. You never know. I mean, I haven't seen those movies in like 3 or 4 years, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at them. But Final Destination 2 still wasn't a bad film. Some of the characters were interesting, not all of them, but some of them were. You did have some douchebags like Rory and Eugene and another lady, but the premonition I thought was very intriguing. They did take a nice turn from the airport. I do like the highway premonition. It was very interesting. The kills in this movie are definitely improved from the first. I do like these kills. There's one where a guy slips on spaghetti and gets impaled through the eye by a ladder. That was very cool. I saw the behind the scenes practical effects on that. I thought it was really neat on how they were able to do it. The writer and directors, I believe they got some new people to direct part 2. But I do like the way they took a turn. If you don't know, Clear Rivers is mentioned in this movie. She is actually the only survivor from the previous film. She appears in this movie. Ali Larter plays her. She doesn't come back in the rest of the sequels because of what happened to her. Her character in the film. So, I do like the return of Clear Rivers. I feel like she's more interesting than the first film, I gotta be honest. I like her a lot better in this film than the first. Alex Browning was just axed off in the storyline. I don't know why they did that. Killed by a falling brick. Come on, Alex was smarter than that. He wouldn't die by a falling brick. They just axed him off for some reason. I don't know. Tony Todd makes a return as William Bloodsworth. Doesn't get as much screen time as he did in the first film, but after this film, I don't think he appeared in parts 3 and 4. I don't think so. I'd have to rewatch him. So, Final Destination 2, very good movie. The ending to it is actually a much more different ending than the rest of this franchise. This is actually the only film where people actually survive in the end of the movie. You don't see that in the rest of these films. I don't believe so. Yeah, this is the only movie where some people survive the whole thing. So, I thought that was pretty cool. There were some moments I didn't really understand, like death working backwards. That kind of confused me there. I got confused on those parts. Other than that, this was definitely a solid entry in the series, but I don't know. We'd have to see when I do the ranking. I'm not sure if it's better than the first or not. I'd have to go through the rest of the films to see. But I will definitely be doing a ranking on these. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Final Destination 2. That's my review. Let me know what you guys thought of this film. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it about a 7 out of 10. Wasn't as good as the first film, but still was interesting. Maybe I'd give it an 8. Yeah, let's go with an 8. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Same as the first film. But maybe a lower 8 out of 10 than the first film for right now. Yeah, it wasn't as good as the first movie, but I still recommend it. Very, very good entry. But what was everyone's thoughts on Final Destination 2? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Really love to hear everyone's thoughts on this. And yeah, that's about it. So God bless and have a good day. Bye, everyone.